Hello, friends. Good evening, and welcome to our live. See, okay, I'm just gonna do a one quick approval of people waiting to join us. Okay, I just did that. How are you all doing? Hello, hello. How are you? Let's see who's here. Okay. How are you all doing? Welcome to our live training for today, for tonight, how to invest in real estate out of states. And I'm going to try to catch up with you guys on in our comment session, so I get to use my phone as well to see what's going on, because I don't really get to see the full picture. And I'm glad. Hi Funke, I'm glad you can hear me. It's good to have you guys on here tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about how to invest in real estate out of state. This is a very interesting and necessary training. And let's just see if Chrislyn is here to help tag whoever needs to join us. Hi, Chrislyn. Hi, Kiana. Hi, Saeed. Hi, everyone watching. Good evening. Good to see you. And let's get right into it. As you guys all know, my name is Yinka Olumorin. I am a coach on this wonderful platform, Acquire Real Estate. I've done over 45 deals ranging from wholesaling to lease options, fix and flips, rentals, but short-term, long-term rentals, multifamilies, and new constructions. And I always share that within 6 months, within 36 months, actually, we're able to move our business from 6 figures to 7 figures. I invest with my husband, and he actually helps our coaching students a lot. So I'm excited to be here. Please introduce yourself in the comments. Tell us where you're from. I am very excited to meet you all. Let's see who's here. I just like to interact with you guys, so I know I'm not talking to myself. Okay, welcome. So type in the comments where you're from, where you're watching from. I can see you watching, but I can't really tell where you're from if you don't put that in the comments. And thank you for doing that. Now, today we are going to be talking about investing out of states. Hi, Olatukumbo from New Jersey. Now, investing out of state in this context will mean anything outside of where you currently live, okay, in this context. So anywhere you can't easily access, right? For some, it's like an hour, and for others, it's a few hours, right? So we're going to term everything out of state, something that's far away from you, okay, we will consider out of state for this reason, for this purpose. Okay, and why would you ever consider investing out of state? There are a couple of reasons why you would consider investing out of state. For example, your personal stability. So say you're currently moving from one city to another. Maybe you don't intend to stay more than like a year, a few more years, or something like that where you currently live, okay? So rather than putting your whole idea of real estate investing on hold because you're just not sure, and I come across people a lot who are in that kind of ballpark category where they're not sure that they will remain in that city or not, and they just keep, putting real estate investing on the back burner. Okay, so you actually should have a better plan now with this training. You have a better plan. You plan not to be restricted to any particular location if you're watching this training. So that's your plan right now. You're planning not to be restricted by location. Okay. So another reason to invest out of state is your time freedom. Okay. So believe it or not, Some people actually hop from one property to another just because they can, right? You invest in properties, you buy properties, and you find yourself you basically created another job for yourself because now you're moving from one property to another just because you can do it, you love it, it's interesting, but it's taking your time. Or maybe you don't believe, you know, they just don't believe that they can do without that. They don't see the option, right? And that takes away all the time freedom. Imagine having to do that, moving from one single family rental to another property to a fix and flip with a full-time job. It is stressful. When you invest locally, that is one of the temptations you face. You feel like you have to be everywhere all the time. However, if you invest out of state, you're forced to actually set up a system where you don't need to physically see a property to be able to run your business smoothly. Okay. And don't mind me, I'm looking at my screen, but I'm also trying to make sure you guys are okay on the chats like I always do. Okay. Another good reason to invest out of state is that you have unlimited options. You can choose the best markets that will give you the best profits rather than, feeling stuck to a particular market, right? So you have unlimited options when you invest out of state. So when do you need to do that? You need to invest in out of state if you're looking for unlimited options, you're looking for bigger profit margins, you need that time freedom. Maybe you're in a moving process where you're switching states. The time to actually invest out of state is right now. Okay. Now, let me touch on interest rates again and why you should not wait. Don't wait for interest rates to drop because I know some people are waiting and saying the interest rates are so high, maybe this is not a good time to invest. That is false. Don't wait, because what happens when you wait? Then there are more people buying houses. There is increased competition. The competition is too much. You keep bidding on properties. You're not winning because everybody else is interested in the property. Right now, there's high competition, even though the interest rates have dropped, which is a good thing. But what that good thing does is actually increase the competition. And what would happen when competition increases? You have higher prices, right? So property prices are going to go up if you're going to wait. Property prices are going to go up. So what if you lock in that deal right now? And then maybe down the line, you switch your lender from the high interest rate lender to the lower interest rate lender. At least you're able to lock down that property at a good price. Okay. So the time to actually invest out of state is right now. Okay. So what is the big deal about real estate investing? So I chose these two words, mem shows, because we use it a lot. 18 years ago, when I lived in a French speaking country, we said things like mem shows, and that only means same thing. It is the same thing. What's the big deal about investing out of state? It is the same thing. Mem shows, the same thing as investing in states, the same idea, the same things you have to do. Right. So for both investing out of state and in state, you need to build a team. That is correct. Well, I wonder, maybe your team in states wear green shirts. I don't know, but whatever shirt they're wearing, whatever they do, they're still a team. They're gonna help you, right? So whether you're in states, whether you're out of states, it's the same thing. You need to have a team. You need to build your team. Okay. So whether you're in states, whether you're out of states, you need to do something. So maybe you can choose to buy gas to drive locally or not if you're in states. You can choose to buy air tickets and fly or not if you're out of states. Same thing. Okay. You'll need to communicate. So out of states, you definitely need to hold on to your phone and communicate. In states, you definitely need to communicate as well. But maybe you also add that additional layer of stress because you keep hopping from one place to another, right? Out of state, you need time, right? So you will need to put in some time. You get to choose how much time you dedicate. You need time to put your property under contract, to close, to speak with team, or sell the property if applicable, or rent, or hire a property manager, or find a property manager. You still need the time, whether you're in state or out of state. So the same thing, mem shows. Okay, so the same thing, you're building a team, whether you're flying or buying gas, whether you're on the phone, or you choose to add that layer of stress or not. I mean, not everyone that invests in states adds on that layer of stress as well. So some people are wiser, even though they're in states, they get to do things differently, right? And also the time difference, right? So whether you choose all that, it's actually the same whole idea. But the most important thing is to get the best return on your investment. Where are you going to get the best return on your investment? That's the most important thing. So it's not about the geographic location. It's not about whether you're in a specific city or in another one. It is about what kind of return, what are you going to get back if you did this on investment? Okay. So sometimes locally you get good returns, but many times when you're exposed to many different markets, you can choose. So how do we do this? How can we invest out of state? I see a question here. You're asking if Texas is a good place to invest. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about that soon. How then can we choose? How then can we invest out of state? So let's go through a step-by-step process. Okay. So how do we invest in real estate out of state? First, you want to do your market research. Okay. Choose the best towns where you can get the best return on your investment. It does matter a lot. Where you choose matters a lot. It will make or break. It can determine whether you make a profit or not. Right? No one wants to lose. No one wants to lose because they chose the wrong market, right? No one wants to lose. So it's very important to choose the right market. And that's why, that question is actually a very good question. Okay, so don't worry, I'm including a resource at the end of the training that gives you a list of top 5 real estate cities to invest, okay? So top 5 real estate markets or cities to invest, so that you have a wide range of options, okay? So the next thing to do is finding deals in that market that you have chosen. After doing your market research and analyzing, now you want to find deals in that market. I taught that on our 2 previous trainings. Before that, I mean, if you need that training, I doubt that you would need it. Type training in the comments on it. I mean, it goes over a very simple way to find deals. So you can type training in the comments if you need it. I'll also touch on it a little bit tonight. Okay. So next, you need to build a team. And we'll also discuss that shortly. Okay. Next, you go ahead, execute your deal. What you do here actually depends on whether it's a rental or a flip. If it's a rental, you go ahead to rent and cash flow monthly, and maybe even cash out as well. Or you sell it as a flip, right? So you make your money right there as soon as you execute. And your team helps you in the execution phase. Okay. And then you make your income. How do we build our team? How then do we build our team? Let us first of all introduce our team members. Who is on your team? We have realtor. Okay. We have a wholesaler. A wholesaler is someone who finds deals. A realtor, just in case you don't know, is a licensed professional who actually represents a buyer and seller in a purchase and sale scenario. Okay, so in a transaction where you're buying and selling a property, the realtor represents each side. Okay, if it is on the market, if it's an off-market property, you don't need a realtor, except a realtor brings an off-market property, which, I'll just put that in quotes. Okay, so a wholesaler is someone who sells you a contract and checks out of it. So they signed a contract to buy, and then they don't want that contract anymore for some reason or intentionally. And then they sell it to another investor who is interested in going ahead to make that profit. But you pay them off along the way. Okay. And then you need a contractor. Okay. A contractor, of course, is someone who fixes a property, who does remodeling. It could be a light remodeling, it could be a heavy remodeling, right? Then you need a property manager. Okay, a property manager is someone who manages the property. So you're not talking to tenants or trying to figure out how to fix toilets and things like that. So you would need a property manager if you want to be hands-free and stressless in real estate investing. You will need a property manager. Okay, and then you have boots on the ground. So it's someone who can be at that market locally to help you run errands. It can be someone of maybe sites like Craigslist. It can be someone of Facebook. It can be someone of wherever, or it can even be your realtor, right? Who decides to help coordinate things locally, right? So a few times you would need a boots on the ground if the other team members do not cover the entire situation on ground. Okay, and then finally you need an attorney or a title company. So different states have different policies, and how they close on a property. How do you buy a property? Do you buy a property with an attorney or in an attorney's office, or do you buy a property in a title company office, right? So like where I live in Connecticut is an attorney state. New York is an attorney state. We have a couple more attorney states out there. I believe Maryland is an attorney state as well. But some other states are actually title company states. So you don't need an attorney to close. You need a title company, and that does it. Okay. So you either would, and you know what, if you even Google attorney or title company state, you'll know what states your state is categorized under. Okay. So you need an attorney or title company. Where do you find team members? Again, we're going to keep it simple. Keeping it simple helps you execute without information overload. And I am team, let's make this work without information overload versus giving you so many different things and then you end up not executing anything because now you're confused. So I'm going to give you a straightforward and direct way to actually make this happen, to find and build your team without going nuts. And it's so funny because team members are somewhere around us right now. They're somewhere around us right now. We're having this training and we have team members around us. It's funny, but team members are somewhere around us, very close by. Facebook groups. Okay. I know I touch on Facebook groups a lot, but you guys, if you guys are not in real estate investing Facebook groups, I think you're missing out on a lot of things. I mean, this is a Facebook group. Look how we're learning and growing together, right? So you can imagine having Facebook groups where you can actually build your team, right? So Facebook groups, I'm going to have you just dive into Facebook groups again, because right now you don't need anything else. You can get things done this way. If you type in real estate investor, okay, or real estate invest, you're going to see Facebook groups in your area. You can even add your area or your city or where you're looking to invest. Okay, right. So you're going to go ahead and join each of these groups. Okay. You can find realtors, you can find wholesalers, you can find contractors, you can find property management, you can find boots on the ground, you can find attorneys or title companies. And guess what? You're not just finding these things, you're getting referrals. So these team members who have worked with other people successfully. Someone recommends their team member, another real estate investor recommends their team member to you. That is gold. Okay, it is simple, but how many people will actually do this? That's the thing. So executing is the most important thing for success. It's not because steps are complicated. It's just because only a few people will actually take the information and run with it. Okay. It's because it takes you a little bit of time to actually learn and run with it. Like you guys are here right now. Some people actually are still scrolling through Facebook and trying to see what's happening. You're not making money on Facebook, right? You're not making money on Facebook, but you choose what you want to do on Facebook. You choose what you want to get from Facebook. And this is gold and it is free. Okay, so use your search button in that group. You go into that group, click on this search button and type in who you're looking for: attorney, contractor, and so on. You're going to find a lot of results in this group. So imagine belonging to 22 groups. How many contractors can you find if you're finding 10 contractors in each group? You see. Okay. So even deals, even properties, you can find properties in Facebook groups. Look at this guy talking about a property in downtown Gainesville, another flip in Orlando. Like, these people are talking about properties you can buy and they're saying it's a deal. So they have actually analyzed the property. Now you are going to do your own assessments and say, okay, I want this deal. And you go ahead and put it under contract. So likely a wholesaler, likely a realtor, right? Okay, so who are your team members? We already know who your team members are, and we already know where to find your team members. Okay, now you have questions. I'm sure you have questions. I know you're thinking, I make it sound so easy. Like, what if a bunch of things happen, right? For example, what if you have no experience, you have never done a deal in your local market? Because some people actually think that they have to get started locally first, kind of see eyeball to eyeball what a kitchen counter looks like, or like really visually look at, just have a visual feel of what's going on in the real estate investing world. This will console you actually. Some of our students get their first deal ever, their first deals ever out of state, and they love it. In fact, some have never seen their property. Think about it. There's so many different ways of communicating virtually these days, right? Yes, even on properties, right? So you can be an out-of-state investor without touching or feeling your property. I mean, it's not your personal home, so you don't need that emotional attachment to the property. And guess what? Whether you're in state or out of state, you have no experience. That first experience is going to teach you a lot. It's going to teach you how to run things. Your contractor is going to educate you over the phone on what's going on in the property and what needs to be done. You're going to see a lot of pictures. You're going to do a lot of videos, right? So it's the same thing. You're just not in that space, but you have a great idea of what's going on. You know firsthand already. I mean, you can choose to fly there once or twice, but that's about it, right? Not like you're going to be flying every week or every month or every single year. If you choose, if you have a good running system, there's no reason to fly back and forth. You don't have to see your property manager face to face, even if you're within the same city, right? Okay. So what if you're also thinking, what if you haven't worked with a contractor before and they screw you over? Guess what? They can screw you over even if you're local. If you choose, if you don't do things right, right? So let me tell you something about this side of things. You have two buffers actually on the contractor side of things. Two buffers. The first buffer is your realtor. So that realtor that you network with can actually help supervise that property. Okay, because you're bringing the realtor business as well. They know you're an investor. You're looking at doing multiple properties, so they go above and beyond for you. Yes, if you want to compensate them or buy them a gift card, why not? But they can actually look at the progress of that property, right? They can tell you what's going on, what needs to be done, if the contractor is doing a good job or if the contractor is not doing a good job, right? The other buffer you have is your lender's inspector. So, for example, you're using a hard money lender and they're disbursing, paying you for your renovation. They actually will come inspect the property as many times as possible, okay, and then issue out a disbursement, okay. So they disburse money to you. They cover you at 100%, but using the disbursement model. So they have to look at the property first, and then they disburse to you, right? So you can let your contractor know, hey, the inspector is coming. So already you have a realtor, you have a lender inspector. So you don't really need to be there, except you want to chat, right? Okay, so this is a shorter training this time. And actually, let's go ahead with our cool resource, the top 550 real estate markets, cities with prices. If you want that resource, type top 50 in comments to get a copy. I'm just going to look real quick. How do we connect and speak with you? Kristen is going to talk to you about that. I don't see any comments, so I'm thinking that you guys are good. I will see you in the next live. And don't forget to type top 50 in the comments if you need a copy of the top 50 real estate markets, so you can choose your markets without stress. And with this, we're going to end the live training. Remember to type that in the comments and have a very good night.